features that come along with the Code Red really is what makes it special and makes it a car that can perform and run, like Gary said, an 8.5 at 161. And honestly, I'd put anybody in it after about 10-minute training session and they could run it down the track, which is a beauty of the technology that we have here. And all the amazing parts that Shelby does, and the way the car looks, it's just so menacing and aggressive with the wide body, the wheels, the suspension, the interior. I hear so many compliments on the interior and the way everything, the seats look, and just the way the whole car handles and performs is an amazing machine.
Yeah, Ben, and you know, why don't you tell them a little bit about, you know, internals in that engine? So it's not just we take the engine, we put turbos in, right? There's a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a fully built engine. It's a Predator block. It's still a 5.2. We use billet connecting rods, billet pistons. It's got aftermarket sleeves. The valve train's been completely upgraded. Oil pump gears, everything's been upgraded. And then that's paired with our proprietary twin turbo system. We use 62 millimeter turbos. The headers are all built in-house in America. We build them with heavy wall stainless steel runners and the billet collectors. You can see all that stuff. We have an engine out of the car on display over there, so you can kind of get a look at all the stuff that goes in underneath this. And then we also have a robust fuel system. We also have a billet air-to-water intercooler setup that we custom designed for the Code Red setup, which is really unique. It's not we could have taken the supercharger apart and used that as an air-to-water intercooler, but what we really wanted to do was build something special and unique for the car. So we started from scratch, designed the intake manifold for this to use the air-to-water heat exchanger system the supercharger uses. We made custom hoses and upgraded the heat exchanger and added an ice tank. So you can actually drain the water out of the system, fill it with ice when you're drag racing to get an extra cool charge and make even more power.
Yeah, and it goes beyond that too. When we're doing the early testing of the car, the DCT. How many of you guys have maybe a GT500 or experience with a DCT? So the dual clutch transmission, right, is a fabulous transmission because it shifts in 80 milliseconds. It's clearly not an automatic. It's a manual run by a computer. That car takes a ton of horsepower. Tremec has done a fabulous job, road course and things like that. However, when you come off the line and you can run 0 to 60 in like 1.6 seconds, yeah, look that up. 1.6 seconds, okay? Yeah, that's faster than all those Lamborghinis and Puganis and Bugattis and everything else, right? Ferraris. We had a whole bunch of them at Barrett, and they were wondering why this Mustang belonged with them. And I said, well, it's because it can beat everybody else in this circuit. Okay? That's how badass this car is. But when you leave the line that hard, we figured out that the transmission oil was actually, they got a lot of baffles in it and everything, but it's going to the back fast. And it was starving it just a hair. So what did we do, Ben? We added capacity.
Yeah, we went back to the drawing board and developed a billet deep sunk transmission pan for these cars that holds a full extra quart of fluid and solved the problem.
Right, so then we also, we take the car back to Shelby, we put the wide body on and the big wheels and tires and the, half shafts that can handle 1,500 plus horsepower and things like that. So the cooling system, when you put this kind of power down to the pavement, you've got to have the support system that backs it all up. Because the other thing you don't want to do is put a shitload of power in a car and then all of a sudden you got problems, right? You can't make it go anywhere reliably and stuff like that. This car is actually easy to live with. If you happen to get a load of fuel that's not up to the quality, as Ben mentioned earlier, it's flex fuel. So that computer, the big Motec system, actually reads the fuel that's in it. So if you're stuck somewhere and you're out of the race gas or the E85 or whatever it is you're going to use, this thing will sense the fact that all you can do is put in 93 and it'll adjust the boost and everything accordingly. Now, your power goes with that some too. Okay, you're not going to make 1,200 plus rear wheel horsepower, but you're going to make it back to the next stop, right? And it's not going to kill the engine. It's not going to kill your investment. And by the way, usually a rare occasion something like this changes hands. We did 30 of them, finishing up the last one. Not all delivered yet, but we're finishing those. Don't bring 400 grand or more. at these auctions. So, you know, not that that's what you want to do. I think you want to buy it, enjoy it, and have a lot of fun with it. But I would encourage you guys to come down here because there's a whole lot of stuff in it, you know, with the interior, the roll bar, all the stuff that goes with it. Come down, take a look at it. It's got a unique Shelby serial number. We match that to the Ford VIN number, so we'll know exactly what cars were converted, when they were converted, and so forth. So anyway, Ben, what else you got?
Yeah, I think you guys ready to hear this thing run?
Yeah!
All right, fire it up, Johnny.
Fire it up. It's got several different modes, so you can have it nice and smooth.
Yeah,
right?
so like Gary's talking the modes here, so we just fired this car up. It's in normal mode right now, so that means that the just like your factory 500, it has a dual valve muffler system, and right now they are closed. We can change over to drag mode or any other mode that will open up the mufflers. And in drag mode, we get the ghost cam feature that everybody loves, where it's going to spool the turbos up and it's going to start camming.
Nice.
So give it a couple good revs, John. Now for all you those that are behind the car right now, I'd encourage you to plug your ears because we're going to put it on what's called launch control. And that's going to be pretty loud. There might be a few flames that shoot out the back. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude.
So that's what you hear right before it leaves your ass at the line.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, those demons look really cool in the rearview mirror.
Yep.
Baddest ass Shelby we've ever built.
Yeah, come on down, guys. We're not going to do launch control again to break everybody's eardrums, but if anybody wants to get closer and look at the car and ask questions, you know, come on up. Well, we might do it again in a minute, but we're not going to do it right back to back.
Yeah, the other thing is you'll see is it'll sit there and idle like you could be in the heat of the summer on 405 highway in traffic, and it'll just sit there and idle and not overheat. This thing is a bad boy.
Missed the launch control last time. We're going to do it one more time before we kill the car. So don't stay too close to the back, but if you want to get your phones out, we'll give you just a second to get prepared. Hopefully you brought earplugs.
Back up a little bit.
Eardrums, folks.
Sorry.
Hit it, Johnny. There you go, folks. That is America.
America.
62 miles per hour in the quarter mile. And if you search for it online, there is a video of it running at the track.
So how long did the concept come for this? Like, how long did it take?
So the question was like, how long was the concept to production on this? And Gary and I and Shelby, we worked together for about 2 years of conversations back and forth, deciding what was the proper setup for the Code Red, and it was an awesome experience, and we came out with a pretty badass car.
Nice.
The question was, what year is the car? This car is the 60th anniversary, so it's a 22. So the question was, what makes this any different than another GT500? Well, there's a lot. So it's a fully built engine, twin turbo system, 1,300 horsepower, aftermarket ECU that controls all the systems in the car so that you don't have to change any parts or tuning, you can change fuels, and allows you, this car is literally, you could drive it anywhere today on 93 pump gas, put E85 in it, and it will increase horsepower automatically. Go into drag mode. Every mode is a different amount of horsepower. So when you start in normal mode, you might only have 800 horsepower depending on the mode you're in. But as soon as you switch to sport mode, drag, it's going to add 100 horsepower every time you step out of drive mode. It's also got a feature called boost by gear. If you've ever driven a 1,000 horsepower car on the street, you know that when you pour the first gear up, it spins tires a lot. This car. This car combined with the dynamic traction.
So what's the top speed you guys have had this up to?
I mean, this car will go over 200. In the half mile, this car should run about like 195 in the half mile.
Okay.
And it will go over 200 miles.
Okay, cool.
It runs 850 in the quarter mile.
Okay, nice. And it's 1,300 horsepower, right? Nice.
The question was, does this car come in a stick shift? The question answer is no, this car does not come in a stick shift. However, we can build many twin-turbo voodoo cars that do come in stick shift. And my business partner at the shop has a 7.0 and 205 voodoo turbo box body. That's a stick shift car. Top speed, the question was what's the top speed? We have not ran this at top speed, but it would be well over 200 miles an hour. So the question was how we do software push-outs, and then that goes right through us. We can do that electronically over the internet. So we can have you log in with a laptop on the car, and we can update the software push-out live. The question was how long does it take to order one, and they are all sold out. No, so these were built only for the 20 through 22 GT500s. There was only 10 per model year scheduled for build, and they all sold in a day. We're not planning to build anymore. That's why, like Gary said, these cars are selling for over 400,000 at auctions right now. This car here is for sale if anybody's actually interested.
Yeah, also keep in mind, we'll always have Carol's favorite, the next one.
So
That's right, the next one. The question was, how much does the car weigh? And we haven't weighed it completed, but we're pretty sure this is about 150 pounds heavier than a GT500 by the time you add the roll bar, turbo system, the water tank for the intercooler, and the extra parts.
So
So it's not a drastic difference.
what are the paint options? Or you can get it all black with the red stripes, or?
So the question was, what were the paint options? That might be a question for Gary. He might know that answer better than me.
It was any factory GT500 color for that particular model year. So 20, 21, 22, there was a little bit different color palette for each of those years. So whatever they offered from the factory, then we would offer that too. So wide body, we put basically the KR hood on this car, all carbon fiber hood and stuff like that, the big wing, but you could get it in any of those colors.
So I had a question about the transmission again. The transmission is a Tremec DCT 7-speed transmission with some proprietary stuff in it to make it handle this kind of power. Not the Code Red. Not in this model. There may be some new ones eventually. Yeah. But yeah, there may be some. Yeah, there's not a solid plane right now. Oh yeah, just talk to Shelby. They'll release it when it comes out. Yeah, exactly. I did have another question about doing this to a GT350, which we do at our shop. And we have twin turbo packages starting at 40,000, installed and tuned up to about 140,000 for something that would be a little more similar to like what the Code Red has with the fully built engine, transmission, air to water intercooler, and all that stuff. Anybody over here have a question? Johnny, can we get another couple of revs on that? Are you guys over this, or do you want launch control one more time?
One more time.
All right, everybody that's behind the car, if you weren't here before, it's really loud. So plug your ears if you can. Get your phones out if you want. Here we go.
Yo. Let's see it behind the car. There's flames and shit. There's flames.
All right, folks. The question was how many pounds of boost? These cars are on about 24, 26 pounds of boost. When they're on full power, it's adjustable based off driving and all that. The question was, why does Johnny get to have all the fun? And the answer is, have you seen his beard?
Have you guys seen the video online? Because that was Ben having fun. At the drag strip, running the 850s at 162.
It's a pretty fun ride. The question was horsepower. The max horsepower on this car is 1,300. It actually puts 1245 to the tire. The question was, what's the rev limiter at? And in these cars, they rev to about 8750. The question was, is it still a 5.2? And yes, it is still a 5.2. It's a 3704 engine from Fast Forward Racing Engines, who's our partner on these cars. All right, guys, I think our time is up. So we're going to move the car off the stage. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. If you did get to ask a question or you want to come see it some more, we are right on the midway, right between Ford and Shelby. We'd be happy to talk to you over there any more you want. We've got a few other cars on display, as well as a lot of the parts and swag. We brought everything we put on sale for the event too, so come by and clear us out so we don't have to take it home. Who wants the mic?
I'll take it. Oh, wow.
Can you guys take my picture? All you gotta do is just hit that button right there.
Which one? The two hash marks?
Yeah, it's a tire swap.